What if the face staring back in the mirror after surgery no longer looked human, and even your own child became terrified of you? In Hollywood, the obsession with staying young has pushed some of the world's biggest stars far beyond simple cosmetic touch-ups. Behind the glamour, fame, and million-dollar smiles are shocking transformations, failed procedures, and celebrities who admit they deeply regret chasing perfection. Today, we're uncovering 8 of the most disturbing celebrity plastic surgery stories Hollywood would rather keep hidden. Sharon Osbourne. Sharon Osbourne has never been the kind of celebrity to hide behind carefully crafted Hollywood illusions. For decades, she has been an open book, discussing her cosmetic journey with a level of honesty that many fans found refreshingly sincere. While other stars avoided the topic, Sharon spoke candidly about facelifts, Botox, and various enhancements, helping to normalize these conversations for women across the country. However, everything changed after a facelift she underwent in 2021, shortly before turning 70. What Sharon expected to be a subtle refresh turned into a physical and emotional nightmare. In interviews afterward, she admitted to being horrified by the results, famously remarking that she looked like a cyclops with uneven eyes. The surgery lasted over 5 hours, and the recovery was far more grueling than she ever anticipated. For many American women who grew up watching her, Sharon's story resonates because she chose vulnerability over a fake smile. She eventually decided that the emotional and physical toll of major surgery was no longer worth it. Her journey serves as a powerful reminder of self-awareness and the importance of knowing when to stop choosing acceptance over the endless pursuit of reinvention. Carol Bryan. Carol Bryan became a household name, not because of a movie role, but because she turned her personal tragedy into a vital warning for others. In the 1970s and 80s, Carol was a stunning model epitomizing the classic California beauty of that era. Like many in image-conscious industries, she sought out cosmetic procedures to maintain her youthful glow as the years passed. What began as a routine decision evolved into a harrowing medical ordeal. After receiving what she believed were standard fillers, her face began to swell and deform, the result of being injected with industrial-grade silicone. She spent years in hiding, undergoing multiple painful corrective surgeries to regain some semblance of her original self. Rather than retreating into shadows, Carol chose to speak out, appearing in documentaries to discuss the immense pressure women feel to stay young. Her story is a sobering reminder that cosmetic enhancements carry lifelong consequences, and that true confidence is found in self-acceptance rather than the impossible standards of perfection. Courteney Cox. Courteney Cox became one of television's most beloved stars in the 1990s as the iconic Monica Geller on Friends. With her natural charm and striking features, she represented a polished yet relatable beauty for millions of viewers. As time marched on, however, the pressure of aging in the Hollywood spotlight took its toll. Courteney later admitted that she fell into a cycle of maintenance that gradually altered her face until she no longer recognized herself. In a move that earned her widespread respect, she eventually decided to dissolve every last bit of her facial fillers, opting to let her natural beauty return. Today, many American fans see her story as a triumph of reflection. Instead of chasing a ghost of her younger self, she has embraced the grace of aging naturally while focusing on health and well-being. Her honesty has made her experience deeply relatable to countless women navigating the same expectations in their own lives. Martina Big. Martina Big represents one of the internet era's most controversial transformations. Once a conventional glamour model in Germany, she underwent a series of extreme procedures that sparked global debate. Over the years, she has openly discussed having multiple massive breast augmentations and using controversial tanning injections to permanently darken her skin tone. The transformation was so drastic that she became unrecognizable to those who knew her early in her career. What makes Martina's story so polarizing is the conversation it sparks regarding identity and the lengths some will go to for internet fame. While critics argue that social media encourages risky self-modification, Martina has consistently defended her choices as a form of self-expression. For many viewers, her story is a modern cautionary tale of how the intersection of viral fame and cosmetic surgery can lead to results that challenge our very understanding of identity. Priscilla Presley. Priscilla Presley has been a staple of American pop culture for over 50 years. From her marriage to the king of rock and roll Elvis Presley to her success in the Naked Gun films, she has always carried herself with grace. However, in recent decades, public concern has grown over her changing appearance. Priscilla eventually revealed she was a victim of Daniel Serrano, a fraudulent doctor who injected her with low-grade industrial silicone, the kind used to lubricate machinery during the 1990s. This horrific experience left her with long-lasting physical damage. While experts often speculate about further procedures, no official confirmation exists beyond what she has shared. Despite the scrutiny, Priscilla continues to appear publicly with the same composure that defined her younger years. Her story is a poignant reminder of the dangers of unregulated procedures and the immense pressure placed on the world's most beautiful women to never grow old. Axl Rose. Axl Rose was once the ultimate symbol of rock and roll rebellion. As the explosive frontman of Guns N' Roses, he defined an era with his piercing voice and wild energy. During the heights of Appetite for Destruction, he was a global heartthrob. As the years passed, fans began to notice changes in his appearance, leading to widespread rumors about botched plastic surgery. However, much of the change in Axl's look can be attributed to the simple reality of aging and fluctuations in weight. Despite the tabloid commentary, his musical legacy remains untouchable. When the band reunited for the Not in This Lifetime tour, millions of fans flocked to stadiums, proving that their connection to Axl went far deeper than his physical appearance. For the American rock generation, Axl Rose proves that while time may change a face, the voice and the spirit of a legend are eternal. Simon Cowell. Simon Cowell spent decades as the Mr. Nasty of reality TV, a judge whose sharp wit could make or break a career. From American Idol to America's Got Talent, he was a constant presence in our living rooms. But in recent years, fans became distracted by his increasingly frozen appearance. Simon eventually admitted that he had gone too far with fillers and Botox. The wake-up call came when his young son Eric reacted with fear and confusion to his father's face. That heartbreaking moment forced Simon to reevaluate his life. He decided to stop all cosmetic injections and focus on a rigorous health regimen, including a cleaner diet and exercise. Friends say he now looks more relaxed and comfortable than he has in years. For many viewers, Simon's story is a relatable lesson. In a world obsessed with looks, the most important reflection is the one seen through the eyes of the people we love. Kenny Rogers. Kenny Rogers was more than just a singer. He was a comforting presence in the American household for decades. With his warm, gravelly voice and hits like The Gambler and Islands in the Stream, he became a pillar of country and pop music. Fans didn't just love his music. They loved his face, those kind, crinkly eyes, and that signature silver beard that made him feel like an old friend to millions. He represented a rugged, authentic American masculinity that seemed timeless. However, in 2006, the world was stunned when Kenny appeared with a dramatically different look. In an attempt to maintain a youthful appearance alongside his younger wife, he underwent a facelift and eyelid surgery that went famously wrong. The procedure pulled his skin too tight and altered the shape of his eyes, stripping away the very features that made him Kenny Rogers. Unlike many who hide behind excuses, Kenny was heartbreakingly honest about his regret. He later admitted in interviews that he was not happy with the results, stating, "I wish I hadn't done it." He felt that the surgery had taken away the character of his face, the history written in his expressions. For his longtime fans, it was a moment of collective mourning for the face they had grown old with. Even so, Kenny's legacy remained unshakable. When he passed away in 2020, he was remembered not for a botched surgery, but for the soul he poured into his music. His story remains a poignant lesson in knowing when to hold 'em and knowing when to fold 'em, a reminder that sometimes the lines on our faces are... Madonna has spent 4 decades as the undisputed queen of pop, a title she earned by constantly reinventing her sound, her style, and her image. For the generation that came of age in the 1980s, she was the ultimate symbol of female empowerment and unapologetic self-expression. From her Like a Virgin days to the sophisticated Vogue era, Madonna didn't just follow trends, she created them. However, in recent years, the conversation surrounding the legendary singer has shifted from her musical innovations to a transformation that has left even her most devoted fans in a state of disbelief. The world reached a breaking point during the 2023 Grammy Awards. When Madonna took the stage to introduce a performance, the internet and news outlets were flooded with shock not at her words but at her appearance. Her face appeared remarkably smooth and significantly fuller, with features that seemed distorted compared to the iconic visage the world had known for 40 years. For many Americans who grew up with her posters on their walls, seeing the Material Girl with such a dramatically altered look was a jarring reminder of Hollywood's relentless war against aging. While Madonna initially fired back at critics accusing the public of ageism and misogyny, she later acknowledged the physical changes with a touch of her trademark defiance. She joked on social media about the swelling from surgery finally going down, confirming what many had already suspected. For an audience that remembers her as the woman who broke every rule, her journey with plastic surgery is a complex chapter. It raises a difficult question: has the woman who taught the world to be unapologetic herself fallen victim to the industry's demand for eternal youth? Today, Madonna remains a force of nature, but her transformation serves as a powerful testament to the extreme lengths even the most powerful women will go to in order to remain relevant in a town that rarely allows its icons to grow old with grace. Goldie Hawn. Goldie Hawn has been America's sunshine for over 50 years. From her breakout days on Rowan and Martin's Laugh-In to her Oscar-winning role in Cactus Flower, and the beloved Private Benjamin Goldie defined the it girl persona with her bubbly energy, infectious laugh, and those iconic wide blue eyes. To the generation that grew up with her, she wasn't just a movie star, she was the ultimate symbol of joy and free-spirited blonde beauty. But as the decades passed, even Hollywood's most radiant sweetheart found herself caught in the industry's relentless struggle against time. As Goldie entered her 60s and 70s, the public conversation began to shift from her legendary comedic timing to her noticeably changing features. While Goldie herself has rarely spoken in detail about specific procedures, the physical evidence of fillers, Botox, and likely facelifts became a frequent topic for fans and tabloids alike. Many observers noted that her once natural, expressive face began to take on a pillowy or overly full appearance, a common side effect of trying to maintain youthful volume through artificial means. For a woman whose career was built on her ability to light up a room with a single facial expression, the perceived frozen quality of her features was a bittersweet change for many longtime admirers. Yet what makes Goldie Hawn's story different is the philosophy she lives by today. Despite the scrutiny over her appearance, she has dedicated her life to her Mind Up Foundation, teaching mindfulness and emotional health to children. She often speaks about the beauty of inner peace and the light that comes from within. For her American audience, Goldie remains a beloved figure, but her journey serves as a poignant reflection of the Hollywood paradox. A woman who preaches the importance of the mind and spirit while still feeling the heavy unspoken pressure to keep the external Goldie looking exactly as the world remembered her from 1969. In the early 1990s, Demi Moore was the undisputed queen of Hollywood. With her raspy voice, intense gaze, and undeniable screen presence in films like Ghost, A Few Good Men, and Indecent Proposal, she defined an era of strength and beauty. For millions of Americans, Demi was the gold standard, a woman who could be both vulnerable and incredibly tough. But as she navigated the decades following her stratospheric rise, the public's focus began to shift from her acting talent to her quest for eternal youth, music. Rumors of Demi spending hundreds of thousands of dollars on cosmetic procedures have followed her for years. But the conversation reached a breaking point in 2021. When she stepped onto the runway for the Fendi fashion show in Paris, the world was left in a state of collective shock. Her face appeared dramatically altered with sharply hollowed cheeks and a mouth that seemed pulled in an unfamiliar way. The internet exploded with speculation, with many fans heartbroken to see one of cinema's most natural beauties appearing so unrecognizable. However, what makes Demi's story truly compelling is the vulnerability she has shared behind the scenes. In her raw and honest memoir, Inside Out, she opened up about her lifelong struggle with body image and the extreme pressure she felt to be perfect in a town that discards women as they age. While she has often played coy about the specific surgeries she's had, her journey reflects a deeply human struggle that many women in America understand all too well: the fight to feel enough in a world that only values youth. Today, Demi continues to be a symbol of Hollywood glamour, but her transformation serves as a stark reminder of the invisible weight carried by those who are expected to stay frozen in time for our entertainment. Ariana Grande. Ariana Grande represents the new generation of Hollywood royalty, but she has not been immune to the same crushing pressures that haunted the icons before her. Rising to fame as a teenager on Nickelodeon, the world has watched her grow from a bright-eyed child star into a global pop powerhouse. However, as her fame reached stratospheric levels, so did the scrutiny surrounding her changing face. For years, the public whispered about her evolving features, speculating about brow lifts, nose jobs, and fillers as she maintained a perfect, almost doll-like image that became a standard for millions of young girls. But in 2023, Ariana did something few stars of her stature ever dare to do. In a vulnerable and emotional video, she broke down in tears as she admitted to years of using a ton of lip filler and Botox. She confessed that for a long time, cosmetic enhancement felt like a way to hide from the immense pressure of being famous. In a moment of raw honesty that resonated with fans of all generations, she revealed that she stopped these procedures in 2018 because she felt she was losing herself. Ariana's story is a powerful addition to this list because it marks a turning point in Hollywood. She spoke about wanting to see her own well-earned cry lines and smile lines, choosing to embrace the natural aging process rather than fighting it before it even began. For an older audience who has seen so many stars lose their way, Ariana's decision to stop hiding behind the needles is a rare example of self-acceptance in a modern world that often demands the opposite. Hollywood may sell the dream of eternal youth, but these stories reveal the heavy emotional and physical toll that comes with chasing perfection. Some stars have learned to embrace the changes, while others live with permanent regret. But what about you? Which of these transformations surprised you the most? Do you think Hollywood's obsession with surgery has gone too far? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this look behind the curtain of fame, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more stories every week.